Why pay $20 million for Quentin Grimes when Gary Trent Jr. is balling for under 4? That's the brutal question being floated in NBA front offices, and it might just define the new reality of free agency. Welcome back to the channel. If you love deep dives into player value, behind-the-scenes front office decisions, and the evolving dynamics of NBA contracts, hit that like button, subscribe, and drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's get into it. Quentin Grimes, a promising, do-it-all guard who just averaged nearly 22 points a game, is entering restricted free agency. He's 25, versatile, and just had a solid stint with the Philadelphia 76ers. But NBA executives aren't rushing to open their checkbooks. In a cap-tightened league, GMs are now asking tough questions, not just about talent, but about value. And in this new reality, it seems like even good players, even young ones, are having a hard time securing the bag. According to one NBA executive, Grimes just isn't worth a $20 million deal. Not when a guy like Gary Trent Jr., who brings similar skills to the table, is getting less than $4 million from the Milwaukee Bucks. This exec didn't mince words. The logic was simple. Why overpay for a restricted free agent when you can get comparable production for a fraction of the cost? Now, Grimes does have a qualifying offer from Philly worth $8.7 million. That's already more than double what Trent is making. And yet, no long-term suitor has stepped up to offer him anything more. To understand this dilemma, you have to look at the broader context. The NBA's cap environment is shifting fast. The new collective bargaining agreement is putting a serious squeeze on teams. Luxury tax penalties have gotten more punishing. Only one team, the Cleveland Cavaliers, has pushed into the second apron of the luxury tax this offseason. Front offices are no longer just paying for talent. They're measuring return on investment like cold-blooded economists. So when a player like Grimes hits restricted free agency, GMs hesitate. Why? Because they know his current team can match any offer. It's a risky game, tying up your cap space with an offer sheet that might just be matched anyway. Here's the thing. Grimes isn't a scrub. Far from it. He's a classic Swiss Army knife wing. He scores efficiently. He rebounds. He defends multiple positions. He can pass. And he's not even in his prime yet. A front office source made the case for him, saying, "There aren't many guys out there who do what Grimes does. He's not elite at any one skill, but he's very good at a lot of them." Think about that for a second. Grimes might be exactly the kind of player a championship team needs on the wing, a guy who can play both ends, slot into any lineup, and doesn't demand the ball. He averaged 21.9 points, 5.2 boards, and 4.5 assists with the Sixers. And again, just turned 25. If this were 2016, Quentin Grimes might already have his payday. Back then, the NBA's salary cap spiked, and GMs were throwing money around like Monopoly bills. Role players got massive deals. Overpaying was the norm. But that era's gone. Today, teams are hyper-focused on surplus value, getting more than you paid for. That's how championship rosters are built now. And for a guy like Grimes, that means facing tough scrutiny. It's not about how good you are. It's about whether you're worth the cost. So let's go back to Gary Trent Jr. He's not a perfect comp, but he's in the ballpark. A capable shooter, solid defender, can hold his own in a playoff rotation. Yet he's playing on a contract that's less than Grimes' qualifying offer. It's not hard to see why execs are raising eyebrows. If Trent's on the market for $3.7 million and Grimes wants $20 million, the math doesn't add up, not in this cap landscape. It's not about disrespecting Grimes. It's about being smart with money. In today's NBA, That matters more than ever. And Grimes isn't alone in this. Josh Giddey, Jonathan Kuminga, Cam Thomas, all young, talented players, all facing a tightening market and cautious GMs. The reality is this: unless you're a certified star, a guy who moves ticket sales, headlines, or championships, the road to a big deal is tougher than ever. Restricted free agents, especially, are feeling the pinch. Teams are less willing to gamble, less willing to overpay, less willing to hope. It's a buyer's market now, and players like Grimes are finding that out the hard way. So what's the path forward for Quentin Grimes? Maybe he takes the qualifying offer, plays another year in Philly, bets on himself, and hits unrestricted free agency next summer. Or maybe he finds a team that believes in his long-term value and offers a deal that the Sixers choose not to match. Either way, Grimes is going to have to prove not just that he's good, but that he's worth it, that he's a game changer, that he's not just another nice piece, but a foundational player. Because in the NBA today, that's what it takes to get paid. This story is bigger than just Quentin Grimes. It's about how the league is changing, how teams are tightening up, how even talented young players are struggling to cash in. And it raises a bigger question: what happens to the middle class of the NBA? Because if the stars get paid and the minimum guys get value deals, and everyone else gets squeezed, where does that leave guys like Grimes? Let us know what you think in the comments. Should Grimes be worth $20 million? Is the exec right to compare him to Trent Jr.? And is this the future of NBA contracts? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss another deep dive into the league's biggest stories. Until next time, keep your eyes on the cap sheet, watch the waiver wire, and remember, in today's NBA, it's not just about buckets. It's about value.